The Altar Valley Conservation Alliance seeks to restore grasslands in the Altar Valley to increase wildlife habitat, stabilize the soil, and provide forage for livestock. This presentation offers a brief summary of progress on one of the Alliance's conservation projects known as the Elkhorn Las Delicias Demonstration Project, a project to evaluate the effectiveness of certain minimally invasive erosion control techniques. The project was divided into 4 tasks: planning, organizing participants and site preparation, training workshops for installations and installing of structures, developing a monitoring plan, installing monitoring devices and gathering the monitored data, reviewing, analyzing, and evaluating data gathered, and sharing findings with the general public. Task 1 was completed in April 2011. Project principals continued to survey the area and identify locations where installations could be placed for optimum return on efforts. Alliance members, consultants, and partners walked the land, identifying installation and monitoring sites, refining anticipated outcomes, and reviewing the goals of the monitoring plan. One arroyo was found that epitomized the goal of the Watershed Restoration Project.
This feature, which goes from here far past the log, has got a gentle slope to it, and it's called a point bar, and it's an indication in this case that this channel is stable because the point bar is made up of several layers of rock particles. From the bottom we find the coarsest particles, and then as we go higher we have smaller and smaller particles. These are small pebbles, and then sand on that surface, and finally over here we have clay and organic particles. So this is the most productive area. We can see a nice stand of grasses that have become established or colonized the surface of the point bar at the point that it becomes floodplain. So then if we look at the outside of the bend, we can see that the bank is steeper and it doesn't have as much of the flat surface that the right side had. So this bank has been stable for many years, as indicated by that large old mesquite tree on the bank, where the various stems come out of the root collar at ground level, and that tree is probably more than 100 years old, and it's been stable for at least that amount of time.
With this runoff channel as a guide for anticipated outcomes, the project proceeded. In December, equipment, materials, and supplies were purchased and delivered to site. In January, the project site was ready for installations to begin.
We're out here at the Elkhorn Las Delicias Demonstration Project, which is sponsored and coordinated by the Altar Valley Conservation Alliance with help from Freeport-McMoran. And this weekend we've got the Sky Island Alliance out here helping out with volunteers. Last weekend it was the Volunteers for Outdoor Arizona who were helping to build some of these rock structures. Steve Carson and Bill Zedike are leading everybody, and they're working based on Bill's principles of induced meandering to build one rock dams along with a few other different kind of structures to reverse the trend of erosion that's currently going on and help heal the watershed.
Volunteers learned the engineering principles of Bill Zedike's techniques as described more fully in his book, Let the Water Do the Work. The specific structures that Mr. Zedike recommended to build into washes and gullies included baffles and cobbles, one rock high, to reduce water speed and spread water absorption. Zuni bowls that slow the water flow while creating drinking pools for wildlife and livestock. On the road itself, several techniques were used to improve the gradation of the road, which had been seriously compromised by the action of poorly draining water. One such structure is the rolling dip, which can drain roads without damaging them. All structures were chinked with soil and seeded with local grasses to encourage vegetative growth. That vegetation should further stabilize soil in the channels. From January 8th through January 23rd, over 50 volunteers, contractors, partners, and alliance members, using over 900 tons of rock, installed dozens of structures into 25 identified runoff channels. This work took place along a fence-lined road, which had caused unnatural water flow, forcing floodwaters to follow the roadbed rather than the slope of the land. Over time, this change in water flow cut deep incisions into the land above the road, preventing the water from following its natural course. The immediate objective of this project is to observe the effectiveness of low-tech structures made from rock, brush, and dirt that can harness the natural water flow and erosion process during monsoon and other rain events in the Altar Valley. Monitoring the changes created by these structures during the next flood cycle will greatly increase the beneficial impact this project will have for other rangelands and for grasslands management planning. With dozens of new structures in place, hundreds of acres of rangeland should show signs of improved vegetation growth, water absorption, and reduced soil erosion and channel incisions. These changes will increase wildlife habitat viability and improve road stability as well. By monitoring and evaluating the impact of these structures, the Alliance will have data to support best practices for rangeland management, which will be shared with others who also seek to improve grasslands and arid lands management. The results of the Elkhorn Las Delicias Demonstration Project will assist us to more efficiently harness the natural erosion process and control water flow to better serve the needs of agriculture and to more effectively provide sustainable, healthy wildlife habitat for the creatures with which we share the Altar Valley. Our ultimate goal is that future generations will continue to enjoy a sustainable, vibrant rural lifestyle enveloped within a healthy natural environment. Our thanks to all the agencies, organizations, and individuals who helped make this project possible.